Y'all seen this?
We're all waiting to hear the Anthony family talk for the first time on the record. It was supposed to start at 11. 10 minutes turned into 20, then 30. The reason? Austin Metcalf's father, Jeff Metcalf, had walked in.
Who was not invited, he knows that it's inappropriate to be near this family. But he did it.
Karmelo Anthony is charged with murder in his son's death at a track meet in Frisco on April 2nd. Jeff Metcalf said nothing. He just stood and waited. The group hosting this told him to leave, or they'd call Dallas police. The group's founder, Dominique Alexander, made this statement.
It's a disrespect to the dignity of his son.
Jeff Metcalf was escorted out by DPD before the family arrived to speak. Ultimately, it was not a court order that made him leave, but because the owner of the building said he was trespassing. Metcalf shook hands with officers and then left. This press conference was about hearing from Karmelo's mom, Kayla Hayes, and we finally did.
We believe in legal process, and that is where the truth will come out. So the family who experienced the loss, my heart truly goes out to you.
The family says they've endured threats, lies, and racial harassment over the last 2 weeks.
Our family has been under attack.
Mostly over a fundraising page they say they haven't been able to access until Wednesday. They're fighting claims they're profiting off of this or living lavishly from the funds raised.
We have endured death threats. My husband had to take a leave of absence because he's afraid what may happen to our family.
We've asked for comment from Jeff Metcalf. He told us not to quote him. We're also told this will be the last time we hear from the Anthony family before a possible trial. But that will not stop all the talk from the outside and any more surprises that have come with this case.
I'll start this off by saying, a loss of life of any kind is not, what we ultimately want. And it's tragic that the young man had to ultimately die. But what I also will say is, look at his father. His father sat there. His father pulled up to the press conference to try and intimidate that family. And we wonder where Austin learned his aggressive behavior from. I said earlier, white men in America have a history of using intimidation tactics, scare tactics, and flat-out violence to try and get their way, to try and force their way. This man showed up to a press conference for the family to intimidate the family. And if you notice, let me put the clip up right here, he had his phone conveniently placed in his pocket with the camera lens facing outward. He was trying to push a narrative. He was trying to shift the narrative away from his son being an aggressor to this family acting all niggerish and all wild, because he wanted a family member or somebody with that organization that was supporting the family to assault him, to go, out their way to, show out, so that he can take that footage and say, hey, look at them, look at them, look at them, look at them. And I know some of y'all are thinking, oh no, that's what he was. Yes, that's what they do. They try to trigger black individuals so they can shift the narrative. I'm 6'4", 275 pounds. I have been on the receiving end of that type of treatment for a very long time, so I know it when I see it. They will try and trigger you to try and get you to react so that the narrative can shift to say, hey, look, they're mean and aggressive and violent and all angry. So that's what that man was trying to do. He was trying to shift the narrative, because the narrative is his son attacked a black kid and he paid the price for it ultimately. I know that sounds callous, but shit happens. Shit happens. When you fuck around, you find out. And I'm so happy that nobody in the family or the organization approached him in a negative or, just outrageous way. What they did was they contacted the building owner. And the building owner said, hey, I don't want you on my property. He still stayed. He persisted. The building owner contacted the police. And the police removed him because the building owner said, hey, he's trespassing on my property and I don't want him here. So they used tact. They used their mind. They used a good strategy to get rid of him, because he wanted them to act out and show out so that the narrative can be shifted. And this is what we got to do as black Americans. We got to pay attention to that type of shit, because they will try and shift the narrative very easily and very quickly and very seamlessly and smoothly. But like his son did, he fucked around and found out.